Hi everybody. Today is going to be an exciting video because I love fall, just like every other person out there. We love it, right? So I have a couple of books that I have with me that I think should be read during the fall, and then also books that I want to get to during the fall. I'll go and do the ones that I've already read that I think are perfect for the fall, just my fall recommendations. So obviously the first one, these are in no particular order, no favorites or anything like that. I'll let you know if they're like top favorites, but most of them are going to be 4 and above. I made gothic romance girly, fantasy, gothic romance, dark romance, a lot of stuff. The first book that I decided to pick up was The Night and the Moth because this has just a lot of gothic fantasy elements to it that I think a lot of people that like that sort of thing will enjoy. It's got a lot of architecture, fantasy, magic systems, and just an overall darker theme to the book, I believe, and it's got a gargoyle in it, a talking gargoyle that you'll fall in love with, and you want to like mother hen. It's beautiful. I love this book so much. It is so good. The ending left on a cliffhanger. I think she is making a duology for it, so just be aware when you start that. We have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So this one I read when it came out, and I haven't picked it up since because I did finish it in one sitting. But it is about a woman named Adeline, of course. She makes a deal with this god that gives her like infinite life, obviously, an immortal life. And but in turn for this immortal life, nobody can remember her at all. And so she goes about and learns everything. And then one day she stumbles upon this man in a bookstore or a library. I think it's a bookstore, and he remembers her day after day. But it's really sad. It's so sad. The ending, man, it crushed me. Um so if you want a heart wrenching, gut wrenching book and you just want to fall in love with the main character as well as the love interest, just something about it. It's so good. Screams fall. The next book we have is Dowry. Dowry. God, I always have a hard time saying this, but Dowry. If I'm saying it right, awesome, but it never sounds right coming out of my mouth. So it is about one of Dracula's brides, and this, in my opinion, started the line of people starting to make books about Dracula's wife. And this one, I think, is about Constanta. Yeah. But, and I love that. I'm not complaining. I love that. That once it just seems like when this came out, a lot of people started making more about Dracula's wives, and I love that to death because I gotta go buy Hungerstone. I gotta go read that because that's apparently another Dracula retelling, and I'm like, okay, put me in there, coach. Put me in there. So that's great for fall. It's very short. It's definitely novella length. I think it's like 240 pages. The next book we have, I was debating on whether to put this in here or not because it's not my favorite series. But I will tell you, when I read the first book, I really loved the first book. The series, I don't know if it fell off for me, but I need to kind of reread it. But the first book, let me tell you, gave all the fall vibes. And it's Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. And her other books also kind of gave fall vibes. I think Uprooted did, yes. Um, but we're talking about Deadly Education. So, and this is something about schools and deadly trials in the schools, or learning about powers in schools and it being dark and dungeon like. That's fall. That's fall for me. I don't know if it is for you, but it's for me. Our main character, she goes to this school called Scholomance, and she has to fight like hordes of monsters and cursed artifacts and like graduate. I think she comes from like a background of like evil witches or something like that. Oh, I can't even remember half the time. So she just has to prove herself in the school, and she's not very like particularly popular in the school, but it's the way Naomi describes the hallways and the stairs, because you can't, I'm pretty sure you can't see past like a couple of feet in front of you because everything is just pitch black, and so you just have to walk, and if there's a monster, there's a monster, you've got to fight it. You can't see the whole hallway, and I think that is crazy. Like, I just thinking about it, I'm like, I need to reread it, I think, because the first book, gosh, oh my gosh, so good. So good. The next book I have is Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. I love Miss Nicole. Miss Nicole can do no wrong to me. Her other book, Stay With Me, is my favorite book of all time. Got it tattooed on me, everything. But this, Hollow Heathens, it is a fall book through and through. Pretty sure it's set in the fall time. But we have a magical town that shows itself to those that are invited. Like, nobody can just go into the town. And our main character goes into the town because she has to take care of some things for her grandpa. And she tries to leave, and she can't because the town wants her to do something still in the town. And we have some bad boys within the town that have to cover up their faces because you can't look at their faces or you'll get like severe nightmares, something bad happen to you. But she falls in love with one of them. It's so good. It's so good. Our next book is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And honestly, I read a lot of monster romances, smutty, good, down to earth, smutty romances, okay? Monster romance. This is a very wholesome one compared to the stuff that I've read. And I will say it is super cute. It is so good. I love Allie's writing has pretty much been a hit for me. One of them has not been a hit for me, and it was Deep End. I really did not care for that book. I think it was because it was just so, the characters were kind of childish. I don't want to say that, but there was just so much like school drama that I did not give a about. So, our female main character is a vampire, our male main character is a werewolf, and they are going to get married to form an alliance between the vampires and the werewolves. And a lot of stuff happens, and I think the second book to this, not these two, this is a standalone, but it's like going to be an interconnected standalone. I think it's called Mate, and they're two werewolves, I think. So that one's really good. Ooh, I'm very, oh my gosh, Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia. I I can't say how much I love this book. This book, it took me 2 tries to read this book because the first time I read it, I didn't give it a great review. Second time I read it, fully understood the hype. Fully understood the hype. I think the first time I read it, I was just confused at towards the ending. If you know, you know. But then I reread it again. And I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. I want more from this author. A wonderful, wonderful author. Like, descriptions, her, oh my gosh, and then also it comes with pictures. I'm a big fan for some pictures in books. I don't care if I'm an adult. If you put them in there, I'm gonna love it. But it's about a lady that poisons I'm gonna say higher ups, the rich, eat the rich kind of gal. Um, Mostly men that are doing bad things, and she meets our male main character who is a vampire, and she can't get away from him, and he's obsessed with her. So good. Another Rachel Gillig book, One Dark Window. The duology to this. So this is definitely, obviously, if you look at the cover, it's definitely giving fall vibes there, right? Yeah. So One Dark Window is essentially a book where they take tarot cards, and they're like magical tarot cards. Each set of cards has a certain amount distributed among among the people, and they are magic. So you can perform, like, if there's like 12 of them, obviously it's going to be lesser magic, and they're trying to get the one that's number one, only one of the cards. But she has our main character Elspeth, right? She has this card that's there. I think there's only two of them. The number two, and it is the nightmare card, and it talks to her, and it kind of just protects her and tells her secrets. But obviously, in this world, magic is give and take. So the world that they're in, the area that they're in, there's a magic like infesting it. There's a giant like cloud, dark spot that they can't go to, and it keeps growing, and they're trying to stop that. So it does have romance, not the best romance in my opinion, but the vibes and the mood and the magic system of everything, especially with the tarot cards, is very unique, and I definitely think you'll like it if you liked The Night and the Moth. Another monster romance that I have is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. Let me tell you, this trilogy, I love everything Harley LaRue writes, okay? All right? Cool. Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. It is about Ray and Leon, and this is my favorite out of the entire trilogy. Something about Leon, and I am a blonde haired male main protagonist forgiver. He is my favorite blonde man, okay? This guy, Leon. So Ray is like a supernatural ghost fanatic, but she moves to her hometown in like Oregon. This is set in Oregon, I'm assuming. It's PNW, I know that. Pacific Northwest. But she stumbles upon some ancient things, and things start to awaken, and some sketchy stuff in town is happening, and she meets some demons. That's all I'm going to say. I definitely need to reread this because obviously I'm not telling it properly, like even summarizing. But check your trigger warnings. It definitely has a lot of triggers in it. It's dark romance. It's monster dark romance, especially. But it's so juicy. It's so good. It's so good. And anything Pacific Northwest, in my opinion, is great fall read. Okay? So I am going to show my favorite book of all time. I own almost every single version of it. That's bad. Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. Like I said, anything that has to do with a school and the architecture being like grungy and haunted cathedral looking type school, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love it already. At the beginning of the book, we see that her mother is dying. We're watching this happen. Her mother is dying from this bug creature parasite thing that is taking over her body and like drowning. This parasite, so think of like the opposite of rabies. So rabies, you are like hydrophobic. You're afraid of water, things like that. With this parasite, they like to drown their victims, it seems. And so we see her mother die, and she goes to this college that this is the only one that studies this parasite. And our hot professor, is the head of this research. And so And this book, y'all. Oh my god, when I tell you, it's not just a dark gothic romance, the world building Carrie Lake did with this is ridiculous. It is so good. And this is coming from somebody that has you know, a medical background and works in a hospital and stuff like that. Uh, wow. Wow. The parasite, the remedy, the like immunity, things of that nature, or how they work and like what they do, the background where they came from, is crazy. It is so good. Please read. Check your trigger warnings, obviously. But the last book that I'm going to recommend right now, because I just got done with it, is Nightshade by Autumn Woods. This book, I don't want to say it's a dark romance necessarily. It is definitely a gothic romance, more on the lighter side. Obviously, the plot takes place at a school, a gothic looking school, and our main character is trying to take down this family that essentially murdered her parents. And she's trying to take them down. But the son of the family keeps getting in her way, and she's partnered with him for a class project, and she like slowly gets to learn about him, and is like trying not to like him. And she's like, oh my god, he has a family. He's like six sisters that he's taking care of, and his mother, and it just seems like he's a great guy. But there's also obviously this problem of her wanting to, take down the father or kill him or whatever. And so he also is like obsessed with her, and he's trying to figure out why she doesn't want anything to do with him. And then there's somebody in the school that is trying to kill her. So they're both trying to protect her while this inner turmoil of like relationship is happening. So I definitely adore this book. I gave it a 5. So those are the books that I recommend everybody to read during the fall time. I am obsessed. Obsessed. Like, I think I'm going to reread like half this stack. I'm not even going to lie to you. And that's probably bad because I'm about to show you another stack of books I want to get to this fall. I want to get to Fairy So, our Veronica Lancet, I think she just traditionally published Fairy I wanted to get the traditionally published version because it's a little bigger. This is a chunker, literally the size of a brick. I could probably throw this and kill somebody with it. It's pretty hefty, okay? But it is stunning. It is literally a beautiful cover. And I can't even tell you what this is about, because a lot of people have told me a different thing every time they tell me about it, and it doesn't have a set genre. I only know that it is a theme overall gothic dark gothic romance, maybe. Yeah, but I want to get to it. So we have the next book, which is A Far Wilder Magic, and this is about Aft. So Margaret Welty spots the legendary Hala, the last living mythical creature. She knows the half-moon hunt will soon follow. Whoever's able to kill the Hala will earn fame, riches, and unlock an ancient magical secret. While Margaret is the best sharpshooter in town, only teams of 2 can register, and she needs an alchemist. Weston Winters isn't an alchemist yet. He's been fired from every apprenticeship he's landed, and his last chance hinges on Master Welty taking him in. But when Wes arrives at Welty Manor, he only finds Margaret. She begrudgingly allows him to stay on one condition: he must join the hunt with her. Although they make an unlikely team, they soon find themselves drawn to each other. As the hunt looms closer and tensions rise, they must uncover dark magic that can be the key to winning the hunt if they survive that long. Ooh, like I said, this is, and the cover is just stunning. That cover is awesome. So I'm excited to read that one. The book I have that I want to read is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. So I will say that I read one of her books. It was the werewolf one, like Red Riding Hood. I was not the biggest fan of it, I will say, but this caught my eye, and it is a trilogy. I own all three books. Thank you to my husband. But this just, I don't know, it just caught my eye because it is like a young woman's secret power to raise the dead plunges her into the dangerous world of the sainted king's royal court. Lore has been living by her wits since she was a child, running poisons for the cartel that took her in, avoiding the attention of the law, keeping her affinity for death magic a secret because mortem is a rare and illicit commodity and using it could mean death. When a job goes wrong and Lore is captured by the sainted king's warrior monks, she expects a peer. But King August has a different plan. Entire villages on the outskirts of the country have been dying overnight, seemingly at random. Lore can either use her magic to find out what's happening or die, and the king suspects his arrogant, handsome heir behind it. Thrust into a lavish court where no one is to be believed, even fewer can be trusted, Lore must navigate an intricate web of politics, religion, and forbidden romance and solve the king's mystery, a mystery more dangerous and twisted than Lore can even imagine. Very excited for this. But the next book I have is The Immortal Dark. This one is about a a vampire school, I'm assuming. She was born into a vampire society where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship, and her sister June disappears, and she is convinced a vampire stole her, and then goes to the school to figure out who did it. And she's like an angry teenager, and I've heard mixed reviews about this, but I've heard also for the people that liked it, which I watch a lot of people that did like this book that read the same books that I do and enjoyed it. So I trust their opinions and just went ahead and bought it because it sounds very interesting. And then we have The Witchwood Knot. So my mother and I were at the store, and this bookstore that we were in just was vibing that day. They had a bunch of candles on, or it smelled like they had a bunch of candles lit, and I was like, okay, I'm in the mood to grab like a witchy book. And so I grabbed The Witchwood Knot by Olivia Atwater, and it is about, let me tell you the synopsis here. Victorian governess Winifred Hall knows a con when she sees one. When her bratty young charge transforms overnight into a perfectly behaved block of wood, she soon realizes that the real boy has been abducted by the fair folk. Unfortunately, Lord of Witchwood Manor is the only man in England who doesn't believe in fairies, which leaves Winnie in the inevitable, unenviable position of rescuing the young lord to be all by herself. Witchwood Manor is bigger than its inhabitants realize, however, and full of otherworldly dangers. As Winnie delves deeper into the other side of the house, she enlists the aid of its dark and dubious fairy butler, Mr. Quincy, who hides several awful secrets behind his charming smile. Winnie hopes to make her way to the center of the Witchwood Knot through wit and cleverness, but when all of her usual tricks fail, who will she dare to trust? So this is the same lady who wrote Half a Soul, and this is considered her new gothic fantasy romance, like her adult novel. Very excited. Oh, so good. The last one I have is Arcana Academy that I have physically. And it's by Elise Kova. Is another tarot card magic system book apparently, because it literally says uh, this prince offers her an escape, like prison, which is like inking tarot cards for Arcana Academy. He offers her an escape for a price, and he wants her to steal a tarot card from the king. And that is what this book is about. It is chunky. It is huge. And it just looks beautiful. Sounds very intriguing. A lot of people have given it good reviews, so I'm here for it. Last book that I do not have in hand, obviously, is Alchemized by, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. I'll put a picture here. But is a retelling of a Draco Malfoy and Hermione Granger fanfic, Manacled. If you've read Manacled, I'm sorry. I've heard it's horrific. It's very dark, lots of trigger warnings. It's gut wrenching and romantic, and it's a chunky book. I'm very excited to see the actual physical copy of it. So that is all I have for you guys today. And I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any more recommendations for Gothic romantasy, Gothic romance, anything Gothic, please leave them down below, because I always need more recs. I love me some Gothic romance, especially if they're in schools, obviously. Architecture, if they're like cathedral or by the sea, like over a cliffside, just anything to do with that. Magical systems, awesome. And I hope you enjoyed. So, like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.